So what difference can this make in learning readiness? Well, I think it's best described as soft signs of learning readiness. You're not training specific skills to achieve a very clear outcome, as perhaps the SATs and all the assessments that would be done in school. This is laying the ground so that children have the necessary motor skills and auditory processing skills and social skills to support all aspects of learning later on. So things like the ability to sit still and listen without having to distract themselves with all sorts of other things. The ability to understand what we call non-verbal language, which communicates up to 90% of effective communication in social relationships. So knowing what is a comfortable social distance, when to back off, when to stop and listen, when to wait, when to step in, and so on. This is learnt through these activities, these games where you are carrying on a dialogue and a shared activity between you. In a series of studies that we have carried out over many years in schools, looking at children's motor skills in relation to their chronological age, we have found that there is a clear relationship between children who have less well-developed physical and motor skills and lower educational performance, irrespective of their level of intelligence. In other words, motor skills help to support important aspects of learning, things like the hand-eye coordination needed for reading, the control of eye movements needed for writing, and the postural skills needed to be able to sit still and not have to fidget all day. And we cannot say that this program will prevent them from ever having difficulties, but it will help them develop those basic physical skills in preparation for learning later on. Another example would be where in Waldorf education, for example, which is a philosophy of education which believes in spending much more time in the early years on developing physical and social and emotional skills in preparation for formal schooling. I went to speak at one of those schools many years ago, and at the coffee pause time, we went and sat on a wall outside to have our break. And as we sat on this little wall that was about 1 meter high, as we sat on this wall, it was about 3 feet high, the teacher said to me, "Oh, the nursery school, the reception children built this wall." So we're talking about children of 3, 4, 5 years of age. And this was a very solid wall. And I said, "Well, how on earth did they manage to do this?" And she said, "Oh, it was simple. We gave them the materials and we helped them lift the bricks into place. And they had the right clothes on and they had all the right tools. But basically, they learnt through this about weight, about measurement, about how much cement they would need, about mixing cement, and so on. So that at the end of that, they had a better understanding of maths concepts because they'd had a degree of what we call concrete learning, real physical learning to support those math skills later on. And so what the musical nutrition program is doing is helping through play to develop so many of those skills that will support so much more than you think you are doing when you are carrying out the program every day.